Nothing really Mariners directly related. There is some stuff league related news wise. There's the talk about the Mariners missing out. A few signings that took place. Outfielder Will Myers signed a 1-year, $7.5 million deal with the Cincinnati Reds, and outfielder Michael Conforto, a Redmond native, signed a 2-year, $36 million deal with the San Francisco Giants. In addition to that, so two guys that were looked at as potential targets for the Mariners. One lands in Cincinnati for a deal that Seattle likely could have taken. Conforto, 2 years, $36 million, especially coming off of an injury last year. I can get the skepticism. Would have been nice to see the local guy return home, but I digress. Relief pitcher Craig Kimbrel also signed a 1-year, $10 million deal with the reigning National League champs, the Philadelphia Phillies. So again, I'll give my spiel that I've said about the Mariners the last few weeks. Though the Myers signing, I'd be a little bit annoyed about. But I've talked about it with a few people over the weekend, with the Mariners. They've been quiet in free agency. We got a comment about it last week where they talked about Robbie Ray. I was like, that's fine, with that signing. And the Nori Aoki signing being a 1-year, 5-year. Point being is that Aoki signing is one of only a few free agent signings that's been prominent in the Jerry Dipoto era. It's interesting to see the way that this plays out, and I get being frustrated about it. But at the end of the day, some of these moves that have taken place, we didn't expect to pan out. I mean, again, did you see a guy like Paul Sewald being as productive as he's been? Seeing a guy like Chris Flexen getting as many innings as he had for this Mariners team. So I'm sure Dipoto will come up with something. Maybe he's working on another trade right now. Again, I didn't expect the Teoscar Hernandez trade or the Colton Wong we did kind of see. Here's a great example of one that happened while Bel and I were doing an episode was the Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez trade. No whispers about that before it happened. So this team still can add. I mean, there's still stuff guys you can sign, trades that could be made. I mean, we're in December, right? Pitchers and catchers don't report until February, so stuff could happen. But I'm not going to hit the red panic button at this point in time. There have also been reports that the Mariners are saving up to splash on Shohei Ohtani next year. I don't know if I buy that, but if that happens, then I'm sure when that'll happen, everybody will be like, "Oh, such a great move." I don't know. It's just I'm not. There's a lot of people hitting the panic button, and I'm not that worried. Anyway, on December 22nd, MLB reinstated Trevor Bauer. The Dodgers pitcher's suspension is reduced to 194 games following appeal. So Bauer the Dodgers have a decision to make about whether or not they will bring him back. The Carlos Correa saga continues. If you saw anything with Carlos Correa, was supposed to sign this big deal with the Giants. The Giants had an injury concern about him over the long-term stability of his leg that suffered a leg injury in 2014. That deal eventually was cut off. And then the same night at like midnight Pacific time, he signed a deal around the same amount of money with the Mets. The Mets now have questions about Correa's physical, stating they have concerns about his repaired lower right leg that the Giants had. The Mets are still, though, optimistic on Correa's deal, and there is hope that remains that the Mets and Correa can work out a deal after the team mentioned an issue with his physical. So could a second deal fall out with Carlos Correa? I have no idea. It's just kind of, I have not seen something like that before. It's pretty odd.